film which you are about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of 5 youths, in particular Sally Hardesty and her invalid brother Franklin. It is all the more tragic in that they were young, but had they lived very, very long lives, they could not have expected, nor would they have wished to see as much of the mad and macabre as they were to see that day. For them, an idyllic summer afternoon drive became a nightmare. The events of that day were to lead to the discovery of one of the most bizarre crimes in the annals of American history, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 4 of Horror Movie Maniacs podcast. So I'm here with my co-host as always, Grant.
Hello.
And we're going to be covering the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974 and its remake, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2003.
Clever name.
Yeah, isn't it just? Yeah.
We will be having just a little dip into Leatherface in 2017 and the most recent remake in 2022.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we'll touch on those as well. So, first off then, did you just want to give us a brief rundown of Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Which one would you like to go for?
I would like you to go for the original.
The original?
The original, yeah.
So, I mean, the intro to the film kind of does most of the work for us, really, doesn't it?
It does indeed, yeah. It sets it up quite nicely. Yeah.
5 young friends. What are they doing? They're going...
They're going to visit Sally's granddad's grave, I believe, because it has been defiled, or she's heard a rumour or something that it's been defiled, and she wants to go and check out the damage, see what's happened. So I'm pretty sure that's how it begins.
And then they decide to granddad's grave's been vandalised.
Yeah.
I love the way she and her paraplegic brother. I just didn't think that was necessary to put it in the synopsis there, do they?
Could have just put brother, but yeah.
After a detour, the detour's caused by that fabulous hitchhiker.
It is indeed, yeah.
But they go and meet, obviously, a crazed, murderous outcast living next door. So as a group is attacked one by one by a chainsaw-wielding Leatherface, who wears a mask of human skin.
If you didn't know.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
It's subtle.
No. Yeah.
The survivors must do everything they can to escape.
That's it, yeah. So very, very slim setup, really, but I think that works in the film's favour.
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes a simple thing is just better.
Definitely, yeah. Not overcomplicated. Says exactly what it is, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, and I unfortunately, I hadn't even seen the film until a few weeks ago.
Which has shocked me massively, to be honest. I thought you'd be well up on your Chainsaw Massacres.
I really am, but it's a bit like Star Wars sometimes. You get a bit muddled with when they're happening.
There's various timelines now, isn't there, for Chainsaw Massacre?
And even looking at those timelines, I still get a bit confused looking at them timelines, to be honest.
Yeah, we could have a look in a bit. I've got a thing there somewhere, and we can have a little look back. But, so for now, right. For anyone that doesn't know, the friends pick up a hitchhiker pretty early into the film. We're going to blast through the kind of film pretty quickly so we can chat about it more. We're not going to spend hours just going through the film. So,
no. We did that last week.
Yeah. So, they pick up the hitchhiker, who is clearly completely bonkers, right?
He's a bit off his rocker, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Starts... doesn't he cut his own hand? He cuts Franklin's arm, doesn't he?
Yeah, he gets them pictures out, doesn't he, of the slaughterhouse.
Takes a picture of them. Yeah, tells them about the cattle slaughter.
Yeah,
seems to get a bit something like
pig
that.
slaughter.
Could have been a bit of both. I don't know. But,
no, it is because of the alternative title that we'll get into later.
Oh right, yeah, okay, yeah, burns. He takes a photo of him, doesn't he? Then burns it.
Yeah,
and then they throw him out the van.
It's an unusual one. Also very unsafe. No seatbelts in that van.
Yeah,
absolutely disgraceful.
They just don't care, do they?
No.
Back in Texas in '74.
They're coming.
So they chuck him out anyway. They go on to the
old house, don't they?
Yeah,
they go to that little lake, don't they? Then they separate.
Yeah, and then they end up. What do they need? They're looking. They're looking for gas or something, or is that's in the remake?
No, the remake's the one where they try and tell the police about the dead body, don't they?
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, they end up at the house.
They go there for some reason.
They end up at the house of in this one, the Sawyer family.
Yes.
Right. So
not Tom Sawyer.
Not Tom Sawyer. No. So they're at the house. Well, Kirk and Pam, I think it is.
Yeah, that's that scene from the sort of ground up, sort of shooting upwards, wasn't it?
Yeah, really good shot. Actually, we'll come on to that in a bit. But they start knocking, no answer, and then Kirk stupidly just decides to walk on in.
As you do.
And then very shortly after that, the iconic scene of Leatherface smacking him in the head with the little hammer he's holding, and then Kirk's seizuring on the floor, isn't he? Leatherface pulls him in, slams the door shut.
He's got his little sliding door, isn't he?
That's it, yeah, his metal sliding door.
I love that little sliding
at the
door.
end of his hallway,
yeah.
As you do, of course.
They're down to a very pleasant-looking area.
Yeah, but for me, that scene where you first see Leatherface and the violence of just that swift hammer shot to the head, and it sounds disgusting at that point. And then with him seizuring on the floor, and he just gets dragged in, and the door slammed closed. It's quite a moment, I think.
I still like watching it now.
Yeah,
but even in all of the movies,
whenever
he does something like that, when he slams his door, he's just such a presence.
No, he certainly is, and he seems it, doesn't he? Standing in the doorway, he looks really big. You know, of course, he's got the skin on his face and all that. So, and it's the first time you see him, and it's a particularly nasty.
In '74, that must have been holy smokes.
Yeah, people vomiting already, probably. That's it. Yeah. So straight away, well, it's about half an hour into the film, I think.
Yeah.
So you're getting an iconic scene, quite early on. And then Pam starts looking for him, doesn't she?
Yeah,
minutes
didn't she
later.
see it happening though?
No,
that's the wrong character.
Yeah. She's wandering around, and then she goes to venture in, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And then she falls over.
Of course.
And there's she falls in the feathers and the bones.
Yeah.
Again, lovely room. Of course, everyone's got a feather and bone room in the house.
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly normal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you remember that?
And then, of course, Leatherface comes out, chases her out the house and grabs her.
Yeah.
Pulls her back in. And
is that the bit with the sheets?
Sheets?
He's running through the bed sheets, or is that in the later one?
Oh, that's in the later one.
Yeah, I'm getting confused.
Yeah, no, he grabs her, then he pulls her back in through the front door.
Yeah.
Carries her down, chucks her up on a meat hook.
Yeah.
And you've got an interesting point, which I didn't realise about this.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of moments before that, because even before that, I'm really bad with names, but the blonde guy, the one that gets hit with the hammer.
Kirk.
Yeah, he's the first one to get taken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy in the double denim, but he's got his shirt right open, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Guy,
the 74 hunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he throws him onto a hook on his back. And then I didn't pay any attention to it. But then when he throws the next lady onto the hook, I was just waiting for a squelching sound.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think she's the first one on the hook. I think he's laying on the table when he carries her down.
I'm thinking of the second one again. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I'm picturing Jessica Biel coming in.
You're combining the two. Well,
really
one's a remake. Yeah,
there we go. Sorry, back on track. Yeah, when she.
Yeah, he's laying on the table, isn't he? And he carries her down and chucks her on the hook.
Yeah, that's it. So it's all coming back to me.
And your interesting fact was
there was no sound.
There was no sound. Yeah.
No impaling sound.
No squelch. No gross noise piped in like they do.
Because in 2003 they do that.
Oh god, yeah, do it loads. Yeah,
even when she tries to get him off and then doesn't, you hear it again. I'm like,
repeatedly, don't you, in the remake?
But I come to sort of notice that all those sort of kill scenes and stuff. There's no death sounds.
No, it's kind of odd. So he chucks her up there, and then she starts screaming, doesn't she?
Well, yeah. I hope so.
Yeah. But there's no actual hanging on the hook.
Yeah, no dripping, no nothing.
No.
I mean,
don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the reasons is, again, one of your interesting facts might be that rating they were going for.
Yeah, they were trying to get a PG rating on it.
Exactly.
How does that enter your brain?
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say.
It's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Come on, son. Let's go.
Yeah, murderous, cannibalistic family.
Parental
We'll aim for a PG and see where we go.
Now, for Christ's sake. Imagine the two.
Oh my God, that'd have been insane trying to make that.
I would have gone
as a PG.
I would have gone to watch it. My dad probably would have taken me as well. No, I didn't.
So yeah, that's two of the original cast pretty much down already, isn't it?
Yeah.
Out of the 5.
Yeah.
And then who's next? Who else we got? We got Sally, obviously, and Franklin. they're back at the van still, aren't they?
Yeah, he's just moaning, isn't he, at the van?
Yeah, he's moaning about stuff, and he
constantly moaning.
Who else have we got? What's the other one? It? I thought there was 5 of them. Oh, yeah, it's Pam.
There's a Pam. Sorry, we're watching it in the background as well.
Yeah, just to remind
ourselves. We're not getting distracted.
Yeah.
Even though we absolutely just got distracted.
And am I right in thinking, again, I might be getting them muddled up now, but doesn't Leatherface chainsaw mostly off screen? You don't see the kill, but he makes Pam watch while he chainsaws Kirk in front of her.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so again, quite grotesque, quite imposing, but you don't actually see any blood, you don't see any gore. You hear the chainsaw revving, don't you?
Yeah, it's all kind of based on presence.
And you know, yeah, oh, there's the other guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the floral shirt guy. Look at this guy.
Yeah, the glasses, big hair guy.
Wowza. It's a strong look.
I'm quite jealous. Yeah.
I wish I could pull that off.
Yeah. Yeah, so you see that, but there's no gore involved.
No, and they kind of relied heavily on, presence and emotion and like fear without the extra bit, all the extra noise that you get nowadays.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's what this one does really well. Actually, when I was rewatching it, the tension, I thought it was quite tense, to be honest. I was feeling the tension, and I was like, oh, you just have this horrible feeling throughout the whole thing.
Oh God,
you're watching something you shouldn't be watching. You're spying in on this family that you shouldn't be seeing it, obviously.
No, it's a behind closed doors family, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, and again, some of the camera work in it. It seems like someone's watching them, like the group, the teenagers, or the group of friends.
I mean, even by the intro, the sort of this is a tale of 5 friends. It's a bit like a found footage type.
Yeah,
vibe.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
The way because typically you say, "Oh, we found this video here," like Blair Witch or whatever. This was found in the woods.
I mean, they do. What do they say at the start? They say something like, "This is the only evidence they have," or something, isn't it?
It's something like that.
So it is pretty much.
Well, it's like the police report, isn't it? Because then it goes to the cop going down the stairs. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
So see, that was.
Oh yeah, that's
almost a bit. Found footage
follows a lot of that, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's clever. We sound clever.
Well, you do.
Well, no, you brought it up, mate.
Right. Yeah. Where were we? So.
Everything chainsaw.
Trying to figure out what's happened to the glasses and big hair dude.
What happened to him?
Well, I don't know in a minute.
He's dead.
But yeah, no, it's got some great camera work. Sorry.
Yeah.
I would imagine with a very small budget, that's why there's not tons and tons of special effects and things. So maybe why they were hiding the kills out of shot, off screen.
Yeah, but again, I love that. I love the fact that it's not about. They're not relying on shock factors or anything. I mean, it is a shock factor, but they're not relying on cheap tricks to try and make you like it.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I'm wondering just when it was being made, if Toby Hooper was wondering if this is going to be a big film or if he's just literally putting this one out and moving on to the next kind of thing.
I mean, again, we'll go into some of the facts in a bit, but it sounds like he put a hell of a lot of thought into it.
Okay,
and he was inspired from certain events.
Yeah.
God, I don't know.
I mean, I'm presuming
hoping to make something worth watching, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, because the film is quite slim and pretty fast moving, isn't it? I'd imagine they didn't shoot for that long. I know the days were long, like they were shooting for like 14, 16 hours a day, weren't they? In the blazing heat and stuff. And
they did not have a nice time.
No, I was going to say I did read briefly that the conditions were pretty horrible. But I'd imagine it was quite a quick shoot.
Well, that's what ties into the length of it. Was again, we'll go into it in a bit, but the dinner table scene.
Yeah,
and naturally that follows that was probably one of the hardest scenes to film in the movie.
Right.
But also really hard for us to listen to because.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I've never heard someone scream for that long.
Yeah, it's quite traumatic, isn't it? Really, when you're constantly bombarded with all that screaming, it gets to you.
It really jumbled my senses as I was watching it.
Yeah, it did me, and I'm presuming that was intentional.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
I suppose that's where the whole Scream Queen thing comes from because I've seen lots of things where she was the original Scream Queen.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know if you'd be screaming that much in real life if that was happening. I don't know.
I'd probably be screaming as much as you could, surely.
I'd probably be too shocked.
Yeah, maybe.
Especially with that weird old dude.
Yeah, Grandpa. Yeah.
She licks his finger. He licks her finger.
That's it. I feel like we've jumped ahead a little bit though. Let's go back to. I can't remember what's happened to the glasses guy.
He's dead.
I can't remember what's happening, but I do know what happens to Franklin.
Yeah,
Sally's brother. So they're at the van, aren't they? And it's starting to get dark.
Yeah.
And Sally wants the torch, doesn't she? And Franklin's like, no. And then she's trying to push him in the wheelchair.
Yeah. And he's dragging his chair.
Yeah, and she's struggling to push him through the... Is it like a cornfield or like... Well, it's just like a...
Yeah, it's a field, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a field.
Rural Texas.
Yeah, the sense that she's pushing him along, struggling. And then Leatherface comes out, doesn't he, and plunges the chainsaw literally straight into Franklin.
Yeah, bless him.
Pretty much, yeah.
He didn't have much of a hope, did he?
No, again though, off screen, like, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like you see him come out, you see the chainsaw, but you don't actually see it go in him, and there's not like splatters of blood everywhere and that kind of thing. So, but in that scene, it is dark, and then you get the torch beam straight ahead onto Leatherface. So that's pretty scary, you know. You're suddenly there, the chainsaw revs, and you're like, oh no, wow. Scary stuff. No. Yeah. So so then that's Franklin gone as well.
Yeah, so that's most done.
And then we get some pretty cool chase scenes after. I think with Leatherface chasing Sally around for a bit.
Yeah. She's there now in the room with the.
Yeah, and again, I think the chase scenes in this are quite good. To be honest,
I think they're brilliant.
Yeah.
Much kept in all the later films are sort of kept in sync with this sort of setup and how the chases are working and the feelings you get. They've managed to keep it very similar. Oh, she jumped out a window.
Yeah. I was going to say there's a couple of times where during this first big chase scene, she jumps out the window, doesn't she?
Yeah,
falls on the floor.
She's done well.
And what do you make of Sally in general? Because like normally in these kind of films, there's a lot of fodder, isn't there? A lot of them get killed and you don't really care.
I think she was pretty decent, to be honest. As I was just watching it, and obviously she gets away. Yeah, but then unfortunately she goes to the wrong person. She goes to like the brother or whatever, doesn't she?
No, she gets away in this.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, you've just ruined the ending now. Earlier on, she runs to the petrol station.
Oh, see, I'm thinking of the remake again. I thought she goes...
Yeah, she runs to the petrol station.
And the truck driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to go and take her to safety or whatever, but then he ends up just taking her back to the house.
Does he take her back? I thought they just get attacked or something and they jump out the lorry. I thought he takes her back in the remake.
No, there he is there, look.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, I'm thinking of someone else. Okay, so that guy, Drayton Sawyer. Drayton Sawyer.
You forgot his existence, but you remember his name.
No, because I thought you meant a different character.
No. But yeah, that's and then she gets in trouble again, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. Oh, and that's the bit with the.
Yeah, because then he's driving up to the farmhouse and the hitchhiker's up walking up the road, isn't he?
Yeah, that's it. And then he gets out and he starts
having a go at him, doesn't he?
Kicking the hitchhiker guy, doesn't he? Yeah. So this chap Drayton Sawyer, I think he's a
relative,
dad or he's a relative or an uncle or something. Yeah,
he's definitely seen that dinner table before because he seems pretty calm.
Yeah. Well, isn't he? Don't they call him the cook at some point?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's the butcher
he's the cook, isn't he?
Yeah. No, he is the cook. You're right. Yeah.
And they all start having a bit of a family argument, don't they? Yeah. So he's like, "You're just a cook," blah blah, and
because he's friendly at the beginning, doesn't he? Right. He says, "Do you want to come and have come for a barbecue or something?" And they're like, "No, I'm all right."
But this scene, so we've got the scene up on where Grant was just talking about where he recaptures Sally. And this scene is grim. I'm not going to lie. This scene is really harsh. He's hitting her with some kind of pole or something, wasn't he? And
then he batters her.
Yeah, and then he's going to tie her up.
Sack over her head.
Yeah, so he does. He ties her up. She's on the floor. He ties her up, puts a sack over her head, shoves something in her mouth,
and off she goes.
Obviously shoves something in her mouth before he puts a sack over her head.
I mean, never mind the chainsaw, the infections she's going to get.
Yeah. And then of course he drags her out into the van and shoves her down into the footwell, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I remember now. Yeah. And then as they're going along, he keeps poking her with that stick, which I'm laughing, but it's horrible. It's really cruel.
Yeah, imagine being that one.
So this guy clearly I would say he's the kind of driving force behind the family, isn't he? He's the one. It seems like wanting all the murders to happen.
Yeah, especially positioned out of the gas station where he knows many people are going to visit.
Yeah, that's it. And then it comes on to something I wanted to just touch on about Leatherface. Really, is in this obviously he is seen as the killer, or nowadays he's seen as the big killer. But it's this chap Drayton who seems to be making him do it.
Yeah.
In the original, and Leatherface comes across almost at times childlike.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. Especially with the squealing noises he makes.
Yeah, that's it. And I read a little bit about he struggles with his emotions, so he wears different
But I'm glad I was going to bring this up as well. Okay. I didn't notice it at the time, but yeah, he's got different masks for different occasions.
That's it. So he wears like 3 different masks, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's the makeup one that's the best one for me. The dinner table mask. Yeah.
That's it. He's got the killer mask, which obviously you see a fair bit.
Fairly plain.
And then when he's in that scene we just spoke about, he's got the like old lady mask on, isn't he? Because I think he's been doing the housework. But they make a comment or something, don't they? And
he's got the apron on as well.
That's it. Yeah. Reminds me of Mrs. Doubtfire. A little bit. I don't know why.
It's a good crossover.
I'm like,
Mrs. Doubtfire, Massacre, that'd be good.
And then finally, I think the favourite one of mine as well, the pretty lady.
Yeah, the dinner table mask with the makeup and everything.
That's it, all the makeup, and he's got a smartish suit on, hasn't he, as well?
He looks lovely.
So he looks great. I think he thinks so as well. So you almost, it's going to sound a bit weird, but you almost kind of feel a bit sorry for him because you can tell he's abused.
I know what you mean, but I didn't. I get what you mean. It was that vibe of prisoner, doesn't want to be doing it, blah blah blah. But he definitely wants to be doing it. Well, that's the vibe I got.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
He doesn't seem to be too unhappy with it.
That's a good point. Yeah, he's not really protesting, is he?
But even in the, we'll go into the next one in a minute. But it's a similar vibe in the new one, isn't it? With the mum in 2003, and she's very much in charge and protects her boys, etc.
Yeah, that's it. So kind of swap the characters over, don't they? But. All right, let's just flip back. So they're recaptured Sally, and this is kind of getting to the end, and then he brings her in for dinner, doesn't he? Pretty much. Well, he's. They need to get Grandpa, don't they, down for dinner?
Oh God, yeah.
So
that guy.
So the hitchhiker guy, who I believe is actually called Nubbins. Who named him, man? Who named him, really?
I mean, it's almost fitting though, because look how freak he is, isn't it?
Nubbins Sawyer,
Nubbins.
And Leatherface carry him down the stairs, put him at the dinner table, and then again they do sound a bit weird, don't they? Who is it? Nubbins cuts the finger.
They cut the finger and they put that in the old granddad's mouth.
That's it. Yeah.
Give him a little
taster, as if it's going to wake him up,
Well, it kind of does. It's a bit vampirish, isn't he, really, the way he's sitting there?
Yeah, definitely. So,
I mean, the effects on him aren't great, if I'm honest.
No, they're not. But again, it is 74.
Yeah, no, but I mean, that's it. On one hand, Leatherface is amazing, and then him not so much. But still, at the time, it was a great effort.
Yeah. So they do the whole finger sucking thing. Granddad kind of stirs a little bit, doesn't he?
Yeah,
comes back to life
up
a bit. Yeah. And then they all start kind of chuckling and almost ridiculing Sally and ridiculing each other, and it's that weird.
And it makes her scream more.
Yeah, that's it. It's that weird kind of psychotic scene when they're all just laughing and howling and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. She's screaming and it disorientates you, I found.
Yeah, that's what I touched on. You don't know what's going on at that point. You're kind of just in for the ride.
Yeah, that's it. You're like, oh God, this is doing my head in.
Please stop screaming now.
But in a good like horror-based way. So,
gotcha.
And then there's actually a scene I really like. Well, not a scene as such, but a shot. So they zoom in really close to Sally's eye a few times, and the camera lingers there for a bit.
Yeah.
And again, I thought that was really good camera work.
Yeah.
I don't know. Great camera work. I just thought, you can see the fear and the terror in her eyes.
She's certainly an amazing actress. He's so cool, isn't he, with that mask?
The pretty lady mask
so weird,
is iconic as well. Yeah. But they're all coming up close to the camera, aren't they? Nubbins up there, Leatherface coming up close to the camera, and you're seeing it from Sally's point of view.
I didn't even think of that, to be honest. Yeah, it makes sense now you say it, but it's just right, so right.
And then they decide somewhere along the line that Grandpa needs his kill. So they get the little hammer again, they get the bucket, I think Leatherface is holding her over the head over the bucket, and they're trying to get Grandpa to hit her on the head.
He's not great, is he?
He's not great. No, he can barely hold the hammer.
Not an efficient killer.
Keeps dropping it, obviously. I think he gets one hit in, doesn't he, and splits the back of her head a little bit.
Doesn't he get help with that?
What's that?
Doesn't he get a bit of help with that one or not?
He might do. Yeah, I think one of the others.
I mean, he can barely hold the hammer.
Yeah. So, it splits the back of her head a little bit, doesn't it? And you do actually get a bit of blood, and you can see the cut and stuff.
Yeah, a little trickle there
this time round.
Yeah.
So
that's like one of the main bits of what you would even call gore.
Yeah. And then she's still screaming, obviously,
of course.
But manages to push them away, push them off her, and jump out the window again.
Yeah. She loves a good window jump.
She loves jumping out the window. That's 2 windows.
The house is wrecked.
They're going to find her a biller for the windows, clearly. But yeah, she's out the window again, and this time.
Is that when she gets to the guy in the big truck?
Yeah, and that's what I thought you was on about. She gets to the guy in the big truck.
No.
Yeah,
No, that's right at the end, isn't it?
Yeah, and you think, oh, she's going to get away. She's going to get away. And then obviously she doesn't get away.
No.
Leatherface is chasing her. Again, another pretty good chase scene.
Yeah, really good.
And then they get back out the truck, though, don't they? They stop because Leatherface is hitting the truck with a chainsaw, isn't
Yeah,
they
get going around in circles a bit like
that. That's it. They get out the truck, and then Leatherface, does the truck driver push him, or does he just fall over? I can't remember. No, but he cuts his own leg, doesn't he, with the chainsaw?
Oh, yeah.
He falls over and the chainsaw falls on his leg.
Yeah, it goes through his leg.
Yeah.
But he seemed alright.
He seemed alright. It's just a little graze.
It's only a leg.
Thigh. Doesn't sever it, does he? He doesn't cut it right off.
No.
So, he gets up, but by this point, Sally's managed to get in the other guy's truck that has drove along.
Yeah.
And that's where you get the absolute iconic chainsaw swing in the sun, in the lens flare, the chainsaw dance almost, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where he's kind of squealing and spinning the chainsaw and again,
the chainsaw dance.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you've done it.
Only this afternoon.
yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
And you get your survivor. You get your survivor, Sally. So we've completely skipped over what's happened. The glasses guy whose name I can't even remember. So
that made irrelevant.
We'll have a quick look. There was one other. There's a couple of jump scares in this film though.
Yeah.
That we didn't touch on really. I thought. I mean, I didn't jump at any of them, being a hardened horror, veteran. But there was a couple of moments when I was, like, oh, jump scare, and that surprised me because I don't remember Chainsaw Massacre being a jump scary film.
I can't remember them. I remember more like noticeable parts of the film where I was like, oh god, even at this point, millions of horror films down, I haven't seen something like that.
Yeah, but one of them was the freezer that Pam's in.
Oh yeah,
because she wasn't quite dead, was she? And
no.
Maybe is it the glasses guy that looks in the freezer, or maybe it's or maybe it was Sally, or maybe it was Sally.
Yeah, her head's in the
guys.
freezer,
I'm really sorry. We have watched the films. I promise.
It is.
But yeah, somebody lifts up the freezer lid, and Sally springs up. Not Sally. Pam springs up out of the freezer, doesn't she? Screaming, and then falls back in it, and that's it. It's like she's suddenly died after that.
Just had
exertion of energy. Yeah.
I mean, you would do, wouldn't you?
So yeah, I thought that was a jump scare. That was a definite jump scare.
Yeah.
There's the Franklin bit in the dark.
Oh yeah.
Where the light goes on him and Leatherface is suddenly there and chainsaws him. And then there was one more that I wrote down when I was doing I make notes when I'm watching the films sometimes.
You don't know what the note is.
Well, I'd have to flick back and look and.
That's right. Bit of paper noise.
But yeah, no. My point was that there is a few jump scares in this film. So not a lot of gore, absolute bags of tension for me.
Yeah, constant.
Yeah, constant.
You're
that pretty much the
whole time.
Yeah, even from the opening credits, they do that kind of lens shutter noise, and then that.
Yeah.
What is that noise that goes with it?
Yeah, that's like the camera reload thing.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, but that's a creepy noise.
Yeah, it is.
And they're showing you the decayed bodies that are out in the Texas heat, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
As well. So right from the off, you know this isn't going to be a pleasant movie.
Or clean.
That's right. Has a very grimy feel.
Very, very early on it's not going to be fun.
Yeah, and then I was going to say, I really enjoy it. So
it's miserable, but I loved it.
It's bleak from start to finish. And the other thing is, Leatherface, he doesn't mess around with them, does he? He literally just kills them. There's no playing around.
He's not too sadistic in this one, is he?
No, but I mean, you almost feel there's no hope.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. Yeah.
There's no hope. As soon as he gets you, you're done. Apart from with Sally, obviously. But yeah,
I know what you mean. Though he's just constantly there.
The other, it's a constant presence.
Yeah.
So top class film. This for me, I would say 5 out of 5 without a doubt.
I would say 5 out of 5 also. I mean, since I only watched it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
and it's still probably one of, if not my favourite chainsaw films, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair enough. There's not much I can fault about it. In all honesty, I
feel like maybe going into the fun facts now, not fun facts, but facts about it now, because we just talked about it.
Yeah, let's do some facts. Let's lighten the mood.
Well, the first one won't lighten the mood. So,
okay.
Where he came up with the idea for the movie, old Toby, in a short version of words, he was at a Christmas shopping centre or a mall, as you were.
Yeah.
And the crowds were just crazy, and he was in a queue, and he was stood next to a display of chainsaws.
Okay.
And he found himself just almost hypnotically staring at these chainsaws and just thinking, I could get through this crowd so much quicker if I had a chainsaw. So it's a smidge alarming.
You couldn't you? But that is an interesting fact.
He says the whole damn story came to. Yeah, so he went home, sat down, and all the channels tuned in, and he seemed like he came up with a plot in 30 seconds.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I do know that, I was going to say, I can see what you just popped up on the screen there, but yeah, I do know like Leatherface was apparently kind of, or the family of what they did with their cannibalism and skinning people's faces off, is based on the real killer Ed Gein.
Yeah.
Who I think only actually killed like 3 people that they know of. I might be wrong there. I might be completely
only
wrong.
3.
But he used their skin to make all kinds of like household stuff. Like
the lamps and stuff.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
it's different.
Yeah, so again, very grim.
Absolutely. But then he also has based him on another cat. So the very original thing is he knew I think he knew a surgeon.
Okay.
And he was studying cadavers.
Yeah.
And he went into the morgue and skinned a cadaver and made a mask for Halloween out of it.
Wow. Okay.
That's pretty alarming.
I mean, that's pretty full on, isn't it? We all like a good Halloween mask, but
I don't know if that's bad, isn't it? I've just read that like it's nothing, but that's quite horrible.
Yeah, not something I'm going to do for Halloween this year, mate.
No.
I was going to say I might just buy a mask. But
my favourite fact about this film is that they weren't even going to call it Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They were going to call it Head Cheese.
Wow. I don't think that's got a good ring to it.
I don't know, I kind of like it.
Head cheese.
I feel like they should do it.
And what's head cheese is like the...
So it's basically the scene in where the hitchhiker is detailing the process of how the particular pork product is made.
Right. Oh, okay.
So then...
Back in the van, where he's saying about, like the bolt or the hammer, aren't they? Yeah.
Then they decided to call it Leatherface, which is
that makes sense.
Great name.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they come back and honour that. But a week before they started filming, they decided to call it the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I mean, I'm pleased they called it the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I think so. It makes it feel like a more of a true story.
Although, there's only 1, maybe 2 chainsaw kills.
Yeah.
So technically, I would say not a massacre, but...
I suppose you're right.
I'm not going to argue over it. So
1974, you're wrong.
yeah. So I'm not going to find the director, Toby Hooper, and be like, well, not quite a massacre, mate. But
So what you touched on a minute ago with Ed Gein, you are absolutely right. It influenced the film.
Yeah, because don't they say it's based on a true story? But it's not. It's
absolutely
not,
not based on a true story. But it's, as I say, he's taken Ed Gein and put his own version on it.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
So what else is there? Gunnar Hansen, he wasn't the original Leatherface.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so he was not the first. So he wasn't the first person cast in a role.
Oh, okay.
But the guy that they did pick, I don't even know who it is now. Yeah, because it actually just says the guy.
Yeah.
When they were supposed to start filming, he was blind drunk in a motel and wouldn't go to shooting.
His loss.
Yeah, so Hansen then chased him up.
Yeah.
And they took one look at him and said, absolutely, you will be...
I could see why. Great job.
Yeah, 300 pounds and 6'4".
There you go.
It's a big lad.
Yeah, with someone else's skin on his face.
Yeah.
So, pretty intimidating, I would say. Yeah.
The new thing I like about Hansen, though, is he went into proper character study. To make his own crazy person, he went and studied mental patients in a mental home.
Oh right, wow.
And his facial expression is hidden by a mask. Hansen had to come up with other ways to express who he thought Leatherface was.
Hence why the different...
and he wanted the character to squeal like a pig. So not only did he see mental patients, he actually went and spent time with his friend's pig.
That's dedication. I'm not going to lie. That's
time with him.
And it is those noises he makes, though, that make it all the more scary, isn't it? Because there's some horrible noises in this film.
Yeah.
Some really horrible noises. But the squeals being one of them.
He studied a pig, and then, as I say, he went to a mental home and studied how the patients move.
That's great. Wow, good work.
And I'd say that's a pretty good merge, mental patient and a pig.
Yeah.
Look what it made. One of the most iconic people ever.
Yeah.
We sort of touched on it a little bit earlier, the PG rating. I mean, that just seems bonkers to me.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're hoping for.
No, I can't even begin to imagine how he presumed he would get a PG.
Oh, it's called Massacre.
Yeah, was it then, though? Maybe,
head cheese, Leatherface, either 3. None of them are great. Head cheese, you might get away with.
Yeah, because they might just be like, what? Yeah.
That was
I'm not overly sure how they were going to achieve that, but you know.
Yeah, so they went for PG and just ultimately got an R. But that explains the lack of blood, lack of gore, lack of kill sounds and stuff like that. So
yeah, because over here it was well, it's banned, wasn't it? And then when it
banned
was
in many places.
Yeah, one of the original video nasties, of course, UK being a bit soft and all that. But when it was finally released, it was hit with an 18, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, and I don't think
warned.
Does it warrant that? Would you say an 18 rating?
Maybe a 15 now.
Yeah, I'm thinking I've got a nearly 15-year-old son, and I'm just wondering if I'd let him watch it. I mean, he wouldn't want to. He doesn't like horror, but
I mean, actually saying that, I probably wouldn't.
I'm wondering only because there's quite a lot of like abuse-like scenes, isn't there?
Scarring. Just the pig noise. That's
If
you're gonna have a nightmare about something. It's gonna be Leatherface.
And the scene around the dinner table at the end with all that screaming.
Bad, isn't it?
Yeah, but 18's probably about right, isn't it?
I think it's fair.
Considering there's hardly any gore.
Yeah, it's more the psychological side of it, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So I think it just about warrants it.
But the one thing I do like about this, so the budget was 60 grand.
Wow.
So
not much at all, is it? Yeah.
Halloween, for example,
was
5 times the amount, and it was only made a couple of years later.
Yeah, wow. I was going to say, Halloween was like 200,000, I think.
Yeah. But it basically meant all the actors got terrible pay. They're in Texas summer of 100-degree weather.
Oof.
They had
not where you want to be.
They had no air conditioning inside. They had one bathroom between 3 dozen people.
Jeez.
They couldn't change their costumes because obviously of the budget, and they didn't want to wear clothes.
Oh, they must have stunk, man.
Well, then the next bit, there was obviously plenty of rotting meat and bones on the shop, so the place stunk.
Wow. You can just imagine it. I mean, when you watch the film, you can almost, I was going to say, you can almost
smell it.
You can almost smell it and taste it, and it's like, one of the grimmest films around.
Apparently the heat and stench got so bad that the actors would go to the windows of the house and vomit between scenes.
Oh, God, wow.
And on to the next one, which is amazing to me, is the scene at the dinner table.
Yeah.
They've done it all within a 127-hour shoot. They were there
27 hours?
For 27 hours. And you know the reason why they did that?
Go on.
Is because the granddad didn't want to take his makeup off.
I mean, that's understandable, He's
like, I'm not doing that again, so let's just film until we got it. Wow. And it took 27 hours.
Probably why she's screaming like that as well, but
we were just watching in the background then, and looking at her face, she does look exhausted. And because she is.
Yeah. It makes sense now, doesn't it? Yeah.
Like, even though they probably didn't intend for 27 hours, it made it what it is.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, not that I'd like to do that. But,
no.
And that's also another part on the film where on the knife where they cut her finger.
Yeah.
Apparently, they were using like a little blood pump thing. So they coated the knife so it didn't cut you, put a little blood pump thing on it, but the pump kept breaking. That's what added to the time.
Right.
So the director, without telling anyone, took the protector off the knife and cut the finger for real.
Yeah.
So the blood you see and the reaction you see is real.
Wow.
Which is a bit of a dick move.
That certainly is, isn't it? That's harsh. Right, let's wrap it up then for the first one, and then we'll flip through the remake. Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, right, let's discuss the 2003 remake.
And my knowledge of older films isn't always the best, and that was probably very evident in the discussions of 74.
Well,
I'm not as much of a scholar as Ben is. Ben is very educated on these things and makes notes and everything, and I'm just useless.
But I still couldn't remember Glasses Guy.
No, that one can.
And I can in this one. I remember Glasses Guy in this one, who looks strangely similar-ish to the guy in the
similar vibe.
So, But go on, take it away.
But the more modern ones I'm a bit more au fait with. Now, I watched this when it first came out, and I remember really enjoying it. I watched it last week, and I really didn't enjoy it, if I'm honest. I don't know, it's just...
I remember you saying
we'll go into that, but we'll go through the premise of it.
Yeah, just quickly, I when I saw this, again, when it came out, I really enjoyed it, but I think it was that whole 2000s horror vibe. It all had a similar feel.
Yeah, it kind of gave me almost like Final Destination vibes. Like
really?
Not like that, but the typical group of teens.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
On a road trip.
And
when they're going to a concert or something, weren't they?
Yeah, they are.
But the synopsis is not a complicated one. After picking up a traumatised hitchhiker, and she was really, wasn't she? 5 friends find themselves stalked and hunted by a deformed, chainsaw-wielding loon and his family of equally psychopathic killers.
Indeed. So yeah,
So it's very to the point.
It is to the point, even more so than the last one. It doesn't even mention that they were on their way to a gig or something, does it? It just says
after a little concert, weren't they?
Yeah. So the start of this one again opens up pretty similar to the original, doesn't
very
it?
Very found footage-esque again.
Yeah, that's it. We get the but this time instead of just the stills and the camera noise, we get one or two camera shut noises and that. We get the opening speech again, but I'm pretty sure they've extended it.
Yeah, they made a few additions in there.
Yeah, and then we get some video clips of the police searching everywhere.
Yeah.
And then we see the walkthrough of them going through the Hewitt house.
Yeah, I think I said that in the original, but I think I might have been wrong. I'm not sure, or whether they just made a new version. But yeah, I do specifically remember them going down the basement. Yeah,
that's it, yeah. And so it's this time around it's the Hewitt house, not the Sawyer house.
Because?
So I don't know.
Because they felt like it.
Yeah, I don't know at all.
I'm sure there's a reason we're missing, but...
Yeah, I think it probably comes up later with all the sequels, prequels, spin-offs and all sorts. But yeah, for now. Do you know what this start actually reminded me of?
No.
It reminds me of Resident Evil 7.
Ah, yeah.
At the start of that, where I think they're investigators or probably podcasters or something, and they go into the house, don't they?
Yeah, the dinner scene.
And they're videoing, and then suddenly, like, bang, and
Yeah, I remember that.
Happens.
I do remember the dinner scene in the game and thinking I've seen this before.
Yeah, but I mean specifically that starting point.
Sorry,
as well. No,
right.
It's fine. But
no, you are right. Yeah.
So I think Resi 7 was influenced by this, and hopefully the original as well. But maybe
probably, yeah.
But we'll cover games another time, then. But. Carry on.
So we'll pick up onto the story, I guess. Yeah, we touched on they're after a gig. Bunch of unlikable teens in a truck.
Yeah.
Although I like the truck.
You like the truck?
Yeah, I really want a camper van. Like I'm desperate for one.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So anytime I see any camper van, I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And looking at it now, it's not. It's a bit crap.
That's not a nice one, though, is it? Yeah.
But again, you offered that to me happily, and if it was the one from this,
there you go.
I'll take your arm.
You'd be like. Get a group of friends together, you'd be ringing me up going, do you want to go on a road trip? I'm like, alright, where should we go? You'd be like, fancy Texas? I'm like,
let's go Texas, yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to dump on this movie the whole time because it is still a solid film. I just find them a little bit cheesy. I mean, at the beginning, there's the couple in the background just almost doing it.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
Why is everyone else all right with their mates doing it?
And also, I swear, the girl says that she's only known them a few days or something.
She's a bit promiscuous, one, isn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, I've just seen a scene on there where she's sticking her head out the window because she's nauseous.
Yeah.
Originally, she was meant to be pregnant.
Oh wow, that'd have took a different turn in this, wouldn't it? That
was meant to be a pregnant character. That's why I think that they've done that.
Okay, and then they've cut other bits.
And then they decided not to go down that, but they'd obviously already filmed it.
Terrible idea, surely, though, if they went with that. Because they all get put through so much,
What film is it? I'm thinking of Evil Dead Rise, where we talk about her, because she's pregnant, isn't she?
Oh, shit, yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder if she's still pregnant.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar
That's
to this, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I'm not for all that kind of stuff. It's like, just going off topic a minute, but it's like Quiet Place, where she has the baby, and then Quiet Place 2, where like they've got the baby for the whole thing, and it like mars it a bit for me.
They've got the oxygen mask in the box.
Yeah.
I was still living with a little kid setting his toy off.
Yeah, what a dick.
What are you doing, John? John Krasinski, get back to your office, mate. They very soon they pick up a hitchhiker, very much in line with the old one.
I think I've heard this before. What?
It's very similar-ish. The only thing is that I don't like this hitchhiker because she's. I do at the beginning. I like that she's.
Do you feel like you don't get to know her? Is that the problem?
I think that though, like she's in shock. You're like she's seen something. What's she seen?
Yeah. Straight off the bat, something's wrong, isn't it? Not like not like the original where they just think it's a normal kind of guy, and then he becomes.
It's fairly obvious that she's a little bit unwell.
Yeah, you can clearly see something's up with her.
Yeah, she don't look happy, does she?
No. But yeah, go on, carry on.
And then she turns out to have a gun in a secure place.
Yeah,
I'll let you watch it if you haven't. Pulls the gun out. And then I don't know what she says, but she very quickly just takes her own life.
I think she says something like, "Don't go there, you're all going to die," or something like that.
Yeah, very inviting, isn't it?
Shoots herself literally through the back. of the
do
head.
like that scene with the smoke coming out of the wound, though.
Do you know? I was going to mention that is a attention to detail, maybe, you know.
I mean, I noticed the good stuff. It's cool. Yeah. I like that.
And the actual the kill scene itself is really grim. You see bits of blood, brain, skull,
splats down and
all
stuff,
sorts.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So straight off the bat, comparing the two, the gore of the remake has shot up way past the original.
They've made that clear from the beginning, haven't they? Like, we're turning this up.
Definitely, they've set the stall out to say this is going to be messed up.
Imagine having a gun there.
I mean, I don't want.
That's not how biology works.
It's a bit. I mean, I was going to say a bit unsafe, but it don't matter.
It's unhygienic. It's unhygienic.
Yeah. And then boom. Oh yeah. Well, we've got it on in the background again just to jog our memories because we were so bad with the last one.
It's good though, isn't it?
So
we did say this as we were watching it, but that Fate by Jessica Biel, like that's just. Sorry, that screams so fake.
And then but you see like there, the camera literally follows the bullet hole. Wound. Yeah, it goes through the wound, out the back of the van, into the woods. By the look of it,
she runs out there to puke, as you would.
Yeah, as you would, definitely.
That's
and then
cool
there you
scene.
go. It is the smoke coming out of the mouth.
I mean, it would never happen like that, but
I'm pretty sure.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. So a good start in a way.
Why did they all run round the back to where all the blood and guts would be?
I've got no idea.
They're all freaking out, like trying to clean themselves whilst sat in blood and brain.
But again. Wow. Early 2000s horror, you know. So she just blew her brains out everywhere. They're throwing up. Yeah. You know, what's their next move?
So, they then decide what on earth they're going to do because they're in the middle of nowhere. They have got, how much, £2 or something? 2 pounds of marijuana that they smuggled from Mexico.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
That they obviously can't go to. That's the reason they don't go to the police. It's because they've got all these drugs.
Got a load of drugs on them. Yeah.
And I'm a bit grey on the next bit.
They go to try and get help, don't they? They decide that they should tell the police. I think.
Is that where they meet the delightful sheriff?
Nearly. They go to. It's like a gas station, stroke little tiny convenience store or something, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
They go in there and there's that older lady who's. Kind of, how do you put it? Not the happiest of people.
Bit grumpy.
Yeah. There you go. So they chit chat with her and say they need the sheriff, and then she says that the sheriff's miles away in Crawford Mill, I think, which is, do they say like 2 hours away?
Yeah.
Something ridiculous like that's 2 hours away, and they kick off going, well, we can't wait 2 hours, blah blah. You know, can't drive 2 hours with. Do they? I think they say, don't they, with a body in the back of the car. I think
she don't seem too fussed, does she?
No, and she's like, well, that's not my problem, kind of thing. You know?
She's not really bothered there's a dead body or anything.
Do whatever the fuck you like, pretty much.
Just keep it away from my shop.
Yeah, look at that shot there. She doesn't
a bit of Miss Trunchbull.
She doesn't want
from Matilda. Big good crossover.
So and then off they do decide to go there, don't they?
Yeah, they decide to go to the copper, don't they? And report the dead body.
Yes, that's it.
Then it all starts to go a bit wrong.
Yeah. So they turn up at the sawmill, don't they? And
of course,
the sheriff isn't there.
No.
To start with, and you get a slight. They're kind of looking around the place, and you get a slight. I'd say a jump scare. You see a shadowy figure pass behind them.
Oh yeah, this is when they're looking through the abandoned sort of place.
Yeah, which I presume to be Leatherface. You know, I presume you did as well.
I mean, it's a fair guesstimation, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And then they find that little boy, don't they? Do you remember the little boy?
He's a happy chap, isn't he? The little boy. He really loves life.
Well, yeah, then he just. And then he introduces himself as Jeddah, doesn't he?
Jeddah. Yes, I remember Jeddah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then starts poking the dead body with a stick. You know.
Oh yeah, the teeth boy. It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So they're a little bit like, what are you doing?
So I completely forgot his existence for a minute there. I remember Teeth Boy.
Yeah. So anyway, they
end up back at the house.
They end up back at the house because they're looking for the sheriff. Or whatever. Yeah, they end up back at the house, and Kemper and Erin, who you think are kind of the two main characters, aren't they? I would say.
I never liked Kemper.
I don't think you get much time to really get to know him.
His teeth were too white. I didn't like him.
Yeah. They knock at the house, don't they?
Yeah, they go to the house.
Yeah. Do you want to carry on from there, or do you want me to?
Well, they then they start meeting some of the family, don't they? They meet old Grandpa.
They do. I think it's Grandpa. Yeah, I just presumed it's Grandpa because he looks old.
It's a very safe guess to say Grandpa, isn't it? Yeah, he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, he's a lot more conscious, isn't he, this time around? So he's conscious.
Yeah, I mean, he says things. He's definitely more conscious.
Yeah, and he's a double amputee, isn't he? So he hasn't got any legs from just below the knee.
Yeah, so he's off in life. I mean, what happened there? Where did the legs go?
Yeah, exactly.
Was it old Leatherface?
Who knows? But
as he's learning.
But yeah, so this is where it differs slightly from the original because they didn't get an answer, did they? In the original, this time they do. Grandpa, or whatever his name is. Yeah, is there, and he is like the girl can come in. He's like, but the guy, he's got to wait outside.
Yeah. And then
it's a bit of a shady move to start with, anyway.
Yeah, well, I suppose he doesn't see people like Jessica Biel turning up at your doorstep every day, does he?
No. So yeah,
cops a field, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's a bit later, I think. Isn't
Cheeky bugger.
So they go in. He lets her use the phone, doesn't he, to call the sheriff?
Yeah.
She calls the sheriff.
So I like that they sort of come into contact with some of the family, and it's not a thing. Yeah. I
Yeah.
do like that about this one. Like, it's not. In the first one, you meet them, and then that's it. We're gonna kill you and mess with you.
Yeah.
In this one, I suppose they do play games a lot more because they know the sheriff's gonna.
Yeah.
Is involved. He's going to bring them back.
They're setting him up, aren't they? Yeah.
Well, there he is.
Yeah. No, they're setting it up. So
then Leatherface. Then they're both in the house, aren't they? Then Leatherface grabs this guy.
No, hang on. Yeah, but he's not in the house yet, is he?
Yeah, that's the house.
Yeah, but that's not Kemper.
No, that's not Kemper. I'm talking about Kemper.
Yeah, but I jumped miles. Because so Kemper comes back in the house, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because he's thinking this is taking too long or whatever, and then that's when Grandpa or whatever
Grandpa
needs the toilet, doesn't he? And
he
he fell out of his wheelchair, so she's then helping him off the floor, and he starts grabbing her ass, being all seedy, and Kemper comes in looking for her, and that's when you see Leatherface for the first time. It's a similar scene to the original, different angle, but he hits Kemper on the back of the head with a hammer.
Yeah.
Who just goes straight down to the floor and then gets dragged off in the door slam.
Yeah, lovely door slam.
That's it. No seizure shot or anything this time around. Just whacked on the head, dragged in the room,
cutting the fodder,
and door slam. Yeah. So
I do love that door slam.
I do. I love the door slam, and again, it was quite well done in this one. I think.
Really well done.
You see Leatherface, and again, he looked imposing. He comes up from behind him, doesn't he? In this time, so it's not front on like the original, but just smacks him in the back of the head, and you're like, well, fuck, that's bit of a jump scare, I suppose, this time.
I do have to say, well, no, the budget's very, very, very different, but the quality of this is, even for 2003 films, class.
Yeah, it looks super grimy again, doesn't it? Even grimier.
They're just always sweating, aren't they? All of them.
Yeah, they are. So he's got Kemper, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got Kemper now. She gets away, doesn't she?
I'm just thinking, she's helping him off the floor. It cuts to, I think she goes outside, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, she asks where he is or something, doesn't she?
Yeah, she
asks. And Grandpa says, oh, he's gone or something.
Yeah. Well,
so she goes back outside. Yeah.
See, that's the part I like because they're still playing at that point.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you go.
Yeah, that's it. They're just letting her go because they know they're gonna. Yeah.
Or he's emptying his catheter bag.
So, oh yeah, I forgot about that bit.
So grim.
Yeah.
And the water runs brown fluid. The taps run brown fluid.
Yeah, like I say, it's all very grim. Very grim.
Dirty.
So, she goes back outside looking, doesn't she, for him? Mm-hmm. She's in the woods looking for him. And then it switches back to the other guys. And the sheriff's wrapping up the dead body in cling film, isn't he? And he's shouting at all of them, saying how stupid they all are, or how horrible they all are, etc. And
I did love the wrapping job. He does a very good,
good
job of that.
And then he shouts at them for putting the body on the back of the police car, and he's like, "No, put it in the trunk," and all of that.
Yeah.
So, and
you're messing up my van, man.
Yeah. And then doesn't he? Is this in a minute? He finds. Does he find the weed in the van, or he smells the weed in the van?
He finds a joint.
Okay.
He finds a little stubby.
Yeah.
And then they're all obviously just... At that point, he can sort of keep them, can't he?
Yeah, that's it.
And he's a bit terrified.
Yeah.
Poor Kemper, look at him. Getting cut up now.
Or have I jumped the gun a bit on that?
No, that's relevant.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't matter if we jump the gun anyway. It's a major part of the story.
Yeah, and then it jumps to between Leatherface, doesn't it, and the sheriff, kind of backwards and forwards a little bit. You see Leatherface in the basement. He's chained Kemper up by the feet.
Yeah,
and he finds a ring, doesn't he? So
yeah.
obviously we presume Kemper was going to propose there,
and bless him.
So at this point, again, it cuts back to the group. They come back to the house area.
Mm-hmm.
Andy sneaks into the houseware and distracts Grandpa, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Gramps.
And then somewhere along the line, Leatherface comes back out, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he tries to kill Andy and Erin.
Yeah. And he goes after him.
He revs up the chainsaw, and then he's chasing Andy, isn't he? He revs up the chainsaw, and this bit made me chuckle. Andy blocks the chainsaw with a tyre iron he's holding. Like, wow.
I remember that.
Wow, really? So,
what a guy.
Yeah. So that's not for long though.
That's the scene with the bed sheets, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. He then chases him outside through the bed sheets.
I don't know why, but that really stuck out to me.
Yeah,
but not for the reasons it should.
Oh, what, for a bad
I was thinking about all that washing.
Yeah.
Washing. And also, more my point was, they're clearly a disgusting family. Yeah. But they wash their bed sheets. And there's so many of them. There's so many bed sheets.
There was a lot, yeah. But then there was a really cool scene though where Leatherface swings the chainsaw at Andy's leg and it chops it clean off.
Yeah, it's a solid swipe, wasn't it?
That's it, yeah, and it literally severs it instantly, doesn't it? So, and again, the gore level is right up there for this, you know?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
And then that's where
picks
they
Andy
take him, don't they? Yeah. Takes him down onto the infamous hook.
Takes him back into the basement, yeah.
Yeah. And this time it makes a hook sound.
It does indeed, yeah.
Don't know what hook sound is.
No. But yeah, it makes a horrible, squelchy, disgusting sound as he gets impaled on the hook. Yes.
Oh, bless him.
So, I'm just trying to think where it goes after that.
Well,
probably cuts away again, doesn't it? But
yeah, so I think they're obviously separated now, aren't they? So old Jessica, I know it's not a character name, but she's back at the van, freaking out.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, and that's where he smells the weed.
Yeah.
I think.
Then he finds the joint.
Yeah. So it cuts back after that, doesn't it? He's going off on one, and he starts to take. He blames Morgan, doesn't he? The guy with the glasses.
Yes.
So and he starts to take him away, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then the girls are peppering.
Doesn't he like pistol whip him or something as well?
In a bit, he hits him. Yeah. But yeah, so he starts taking him off, and the girls are just screaming, aren't they, at him? You know, where are you taking him? Blah blah blah. And he's like, whatever.
They love a good scream.
yeah. So, but then again, it cuts to Leatherface again, but this time it's an unmasked shot of Leatherface.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even realise this.
Yeah, it's only brief.
Now.
It's really brief, but you see him side on, and you can see that 2/3 of his nose or something are missing.
Yeah, which is... I know they said, you mentioned they say he's got a condition or whatever, but, as I mentioned in a minute, I'm a big fan of Leatherface.
Yeah.
And the story in that is obviously he gets his face shot side on and it just rips his mouth apart.
Yeah, but it's his nose that's missing in this bit, though.
Yeah, so there's a lot of similarities, but differences. Yeah. The names, the way Leatherface came to be.
Yeah, no, definitely. We'll touch on that in a bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But he's making... You see him sewing skin together at this point.
Yeah.
So, which again, quite grim, you know. Top marks for horribleness.
You do have a skin face. There's something just so unpleasant about it, isn't it?
Who taught him to sew?
Who did teach him to sew?
Yeah, don't know. Maybe he just picked it up himself.
Yeah, hobby.
Yeah. So yeah, he's sewing his leather face together as such.
Funny that.
And then again switches back to the sheriff. So there's lots of jump cuts. There's lots of
it's back and forth and simultaneous stories and.
That's it. So you see the sheriff in terror. He's still chatting to the teens, and this is where he makes Morgan get in the van and react to the girl's suicide, which this bit was uncomfortable.
There's a fun fact about that as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Yeah. So that scene there where he puts the pistol in his mouth.
Yeah. From
what I understand, they done that over and over again to make him vomit.
Oh, really?
In real life.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And in the movie, you can actually see where he's choking on it. You can see bits of sick coming out of his nose. But that's not effects. That's real vomit.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Not
nice. But no, it's so wow.
In order for it to look like a really decent shot, he'd done it on him. He
agreed, and I presume it was
it was his own idea.
Okay.
But he also used he didn't use his fingers. He used the pistol. Like he really went to town on it.
That's hardcore, isn't it? Yeah. Jeez, wow. Well, credit to him
Which
for that.
That
then.
feels like more of something that would belong in the 74 version.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
You wouldn't think of that sort of depth.
But they probably
in
would.
the
They
newer
would
one.
probably just made him do it in '74.
Yeah, I know, right.
Whereas in 2003, he's probably, luckily he's chose to have done that. Yeah,
Yeah, made himself forced a gun down his throat to make himself vomit for every take.
Yeah.
If you look, you can see him spitting vomit out of his mouth.
Oof. But no, I found this scene quite horrible and quite
dark,
intense. Actually, yeah,
it's dark.
Yeah, you can tell how scared he is and stuff. And then eventually, he decides to attempt to shoot the sheriff, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Pulls the trigger. No bullets.
Doesn't go well.
No bullets.
Doesn't end up well for him.
So this is where then the sheriff's like, well, you'd have murdered me, so now I'm definitely arresting you, kind of thing, isn't it?
Which is fair, I guess.
And this is where he takes him off, isn't it?
Yes.
So,
and then he takes him away.
Yeah, he takes him away. And then while that's happening, we cut back to Andy on the hook, who's trying to lift himself off the hook.
Not off the hook. He's on the hook.
He's on the hook, but he's trying to get off the hook.
Yes.
Probably some more squelchy, horrible noises as he's trying to lift himself.
Old Jessica Biel's in there trying to unhook him.
No, it's a bit later.
That's later, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd love to jump around.
But that's what I mean. They do jump around quite a lot here. So he fails in getting himself off the hook, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And so he impales himself
That
just
must
that
have
tiny
been
bit further, I think.
Yeah, not nice, is it?
No.
I imagine that not to be a fun feeling.
Yeah. Again, then it cuts back to the sheriff, and this is where he hits Morgan in the mouth. I think busting his teeth, and then because he takes his own out, doesn't he? And he's like, "Oh, now we're matching," which again, a bit of dark humour there,
So messed up.
Yeah. The sheriff in this, as disgusting as he is,
that's
really,
what I say. He stood out. The sheriff is one of the worst.
Yeah, really well acted.
Yeah,
really well acted. So,
I've got to say, even in back again, but obviously Leatherface, the main sheriff from Leatherface, I thought he was amazing.
Yeah, he's in a lot though, isn't he, Stephen Dorff?
But he's such a good sheriff.
Yeah,
anyway,
good.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Cuts back to the girls in the van still. Erin's trying to hotwire the van.
Not doing much, are they?
Tries to hotwire the van, drives away, and the wheels fall off. which again, just made me chuckle, to be honest. I was like, what? Why?
So it's probably the same van from 74.
It's like, why would the wheels just suddenly fall off, kind of thing,
Unless they sabotaged it.
Well, yeah, maybe. But
you
don't see anyone tampering with it, do you? So I just presumed that it's the same as when they drove it in there. But no, clearly not. The wheels fall off. They crash the van. Leatherface comes flying out. Not flying, but comes running out. Starts chainsawing the back windows, the roof, every part of the van.
I'm not talking about dramatic, mate. Oh.
Yeah, that's it. And then Pepper runs out the van. There's a load of screaming and stuff going on. Pepper runs out the van. Leatherface, she falls over. Of course she falls over.
It's not a horror film, is it?
Exactly. Someone don't fall over.
Some silly Billy falling over.
Yeah, she falls over. Leatherface chainsaws her. Although you don't see this happen.
No,
you see it insinuated, but you don't actually see any gore.
Do you think that was a little nod to the original again?
Probably, because they're not scared of spilling blood in this one.
No, they don't. They're clearly not trying to fit, fit a narrative, fit an age range.
No, exactly. So
that might have been a little. I don't know, maybe.
Don't know. So there's a load of feathers flying around as well. I seem to notice. I don't know really. Yeah, I don't know. Which again might
lovely place.
It might be
another nod.
Might hark back to the original
because there was
a feather and bones.
The lounge where it was. Yeah.
So you're right. It might be. That happens, and then. Here's a cool bit though. Leatherface then turns around, looks at Erin, and he's wearing Kemper's face.
That's so good, isn't it?
Which is a great moment.
That's a good mask.
Yeah, it's a good mask. Although you see him sewing the mask, I didn't. When I originally saw it, it's still quite a shocking moment, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even if you know what's coming, I've seen it several times, and I still look at it. We looked at an image of it a minute ago.
Yeah.
I mean, we were both like, that's so cool, isn't it?
Brilliant shot.
And then worried about what it says about us as people.
Yeah, but we're too late for us, isn't it? But,
we're done for.
So of course, Erin, freaked out, runs into the woods.
Yeah,
as all horror chases usually do.
And she meets these lovely people.
She finds a caravan, didn't she, with two lovely looking people. Yeah.
One's weird, sort of skinny-ish one, and then the other one is not so much.
No, not so much. Yeah.
She's an interesting character, isn't she? But they seem really nice.
That's it, especially the older lady. She's very softly spoken, very seemingly
southern
caring.
Welcoming lady, yeah. Then she has some tea, doesn't she, I think?
Yeah, that's it. They offer her some tea, don't they? And she's like, she doesn't overly want the tea, does she? But
no.
She has a couple of sips. And
tea helps.
Yeah, and then she's like, no.
Goes a bit dizzy, doesn't she?
Yeah, she tries telling them about they're going to die and someone's chasing her, etc. Yeah.
But they obviously know they're neighbours, and clearly the family has let them live there.
Yeah.
So there must be some sort of agreement there, I think. Whose baby is it as well? They got a baby. Whose baby is it?
It turns out, yeah. So she's trying to use the phone, isn't she? She's asking to use the phone, and they're like, "We don't have a phone."
But they do.
And then the baby starts crying.
Yeah.
So there's the skinnier character, let's say, the younger one, goes in to deal with the baby, but then the phone starts ringing.
Yeah.
So Erin's like,
hang on.
What? Hold on a minute. Yeah, goes wandering in.
Hold on.
Sees the baby, hears the phone, and she's like, I thought you said you don't have a phone. And then next minute, she's got a bit wobbly.
She's got a bit drowsy.
Bit woozy, drowsy, that's it. And then,
much like Tusk.
Yeah, that's true. And then collapses onto the floor.
Bless her. Not having a good time, is she?
No. So,
still got her vest tied up though.
Yeah, that's it. And then I think it then cuts to the scene, doesn't it, of the sheriff's back, and he's with the woman who was in the gas station store.
Yeah.
And then you realise that, she's like the mum, the head of the family, I presume.
See, I like that. I never even thought of that, because that's very much from like the original.
Yeah, calls Leatherface in. But she calls him Thomas. Now, I was a bit unclear here. Thomas Hewitt, she says, but she also says his middle name, but I couldn't work out if she says Thomas Brown Hewitt or Thomas Bram Hewitt.
Let's go with Bram.
And I didn't go back and look because I couldn't be asked.
I can't imagine someone's middle name is Brown.
No, that's what I thought. So Bram or Bran, yeah. So anyway, Thomas Hewitt.
Teeth boys.
Leatherface.
I hope they're prop teeth.
Leatherface then grabs her and takes her down to the basement.
And she's ironing.
And he shuts her in the basement.
So, I need to remember what her actual character's name is, but old Jessica.
Erin.
It's Erin, is it? Oh, it's easier for me to remember Jessica, if I'm honest.
Yeah, go for it.
Old Jessica, she's down in the basement, and the lovely chap, don't know his name either. You Andy. Probably do, Andy. He's on the hook still, and the bit I really like about this is the sort of subtle toe tapping on the piano.
Yeah, I didn't notice the piano, right? The first couple of times where you see him on the hook, did you see a piano?
No, I mean it was only when but there's a lot going on in that shot.
Yeah, that's true. But no, I like the piano toe tap. Yeah,
and obviously she tries to get him off.
Yeah,
it doesn't work, and that made me feel really just. Ugh.
Yeah. He's been on there a while now, hasn't he?
But he's been there.
But
the scene next, I still don't understand how it went to that extreme.
No.
Oh, just stab me up.
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah. Doesn't take a lot of convincing.
She's all sad. Of course you are. Stab.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing I found a bit strange, right, was he's got this he's on the hook, but there's a big pipe behind him. So the reason why he's not died or fell right through, ripped through his skin or what, he's holding himself up on this big pipe thing.
It's a bit melodramatic, isn't it?
It is, but then so he tries to get
look at it.
her to kill him.
Why would that be your go-to?
Yeah, almost like a mercy killing, isn't it? I'm going to die anyway, so please kill me. And she's like, all right.
But but I feel like there's still an opportunity, maybe. Look at all the stuff that's around them.
Yeah, wouldn't you just climb on the piano and lift him off? I
literally just thought that.
Yeah, climb on the piano, lift him off.
And it seems excessive.
Yeah, so I think personally, she probably thinks Annie's a dick and deserves it. She's like, I want to be the sole survivor. Andy, you're not.
I'm Jessica Biel, damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm married to Justin Timberlake, so you will die.
She's like, I'm the big name. I'm the final girl.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, you're dead, mate. And I'm going to pretend I'm sad, but I'm not really.
I'm so distraught. There's so much equipment down there. They could have done something.
Yeah, definitely. But what else surprised me there is she stabs him in the stomach, it looks like, right?
Yeah, straight in the stomach. Yeah.
He instantly dies, which is a bit strange. But she gets absolutely caked in blood.
Yeah.
It just spurts out all over her, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, the sort of, a stomach stab would cause blood, but not a...
I don't think it would gush out like that.
No, it definitely wouldn't.
No. But, anyway, she doesn't really hesitate in killing Andy.
No, and then just, fairly quickly just walks off.
Yeah.
And she sees her old mate there, who's been hung up again by the looks of it, but now he's in a bath. So
no, that's the guy with glasses.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Her old mate. Come on.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said.
Oh no, I fell as long gone.
Her other half. Yeah, sorry.
No, he's long gone. But yeah, he's still about. He's in the bathtub.
Flails out the bath, doesn't he? A bit like Pam in the original flails out the freezer. So I think I think his body language there, the way he does that big flail thing, is a callback.
Yeah, I don't know why he's in a bath.
No, but I think Leatherface had Kemper hung up over the bath, didn't he, before? So maybe that's just where he chucks him.
Here's the little boy again.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah,
he's trying to help now, isn't he?
That's it. It cuts to the little boy, and then Leatherface starts chasing Erin, doesn't he? And Morgan, who's barely alive.
I mean, he's pretty pathetic, isn't he?
Yeah, but actually, again though, I quite like this chase scene.
Yeah, so do I.
He's chasing them through. What would you even call that? It's like these little tunnels. Yeah, underground tunnels.
Cave system thing.
Yeah.
Just some sort of old, very old style basement.
And there's all little there's all wooden panels on the sides, but the light's coming through, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the various gaps, and it looks pretty cool.
It's like a cellar, isn't it? Yeah, like an old farmhouse cellar. Yeah.
So Leatherface chasing them through there.
Yeah, let me just shove a wooden door to stop you. I've only got a chainsaw.
Yeah. But no, I thought the scene looked good. It feels a bit claustrophobic, which is what you want in a horror, I think. But what does make me laugh is the boy, Jeddah. He tries to stop Leatherface and he bites him, then he bites his hand, which gives Erin that enough time, and Morgan enough time to get out, and then she slams the door on him, and they're back in the forest.
Effectively.
So they're back in the forest.
Back in the forest.
So
back in this lovely looking house. Look at that shot. He's such a cool.
Yeah, there's so many little tiny other barns and
they're in another
houses and stuff, isn't there, in this
random barn now?
Yeah,
they're doing a bit of hide and seek now with Leatherface.
That's it. It pushes Morgan in the locker, in the cupboard, I don't know, in the barn, and so it's some kind of locker, isn't it?
Something sort of container.
And then she just crouches in the next room or whatever.
Yeah, and silently breathing really loudly.
Yeah, they're covering her mouth, but you can hear her a mile away.
Even he's trying to help though, bless him.
Yeah, Leatherface finds Erin, doesn't he? And Morgan comes flying out of the locker and tries to fight Leatherface, although he's even barely alive.
These little faces where he's like, ooh, stop it.
He probably can't see because he hasn't got his glasses and he hasn't got his teeth.
And he's all swollen up.
That's it. But
he's been hung up.
Giving it a good go. Yeah, but
Does he hang him again?
Then he gets hung up again, but he hangs him by the handcuffs, I think.
Yeah, okay. What? I mean, why'd he put his hands up?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think of that, but yeah, good point. But yeah, he's hanging up there, isn't he?
That's it, Jessica. Yeah, you just ran away.
Leatherface. No, I thought she'd run him back in.
No, she's legging it.
Oh yeah.
She's horrible.
Yeah, she's just leaving him now. Yeah.
Stabbed her mate up.
She wants to be the final girl. She wants to be the survivor.
This is all planned.
But yeah, so did Morgan just bit the dust there, didn't he? Leatherface chainsaws him in the stomach area.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but there was a good bit there around that time where Leatherface drops the chainsaw and it spirals on the floor and it like inches near Erin's face. Mm-hmm. Again, that was a kind of just a quick tense little moment where you think for a minute she might catch the chainsaw in the face. Well, you mean she's not going to. She's clearly the final girl, but
Jessica Biel.
But might have like cut a cheek off or something,
Yeah, so I mean, I'll have no. She's had 0 injuries.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't.
And then end up in it's a slaughterhouse, isn't it?
Yeah, so they end up in like an abattoir slaughterhouse kind of style place, don't they? With all the animals carved up, hanging up on the meat hooks. Yeah, with the carcasses. Yeah. And then this is where, for me, it gets a bit strange in a minute. So Leatherface is chasing her, isn't he?
Yeah.
And she's hiding amongst the meat.
Of course. Yeah. Of course.
As you do. So Leatherface starts pulling it all around and stuff. So I think she just runs off again. But then doesn't she goes to hide in a locker, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And now this is where it gets a bit odd for me because she starts banging on the locker. Right,
oh, it's like a school locker, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and then Leatherface. So it looks like Leatherface is like he can't find her. He's not near the lockers as such, is he? And then she starts banging the locker. So he comes back, but why didn't she just run the fuck off?
Because she's Jessica Biel.
No, I know, but like it
doesn't do what you want her to do.
It just seems odd. I failed to mention that when she was running around, she picked up a meat cleaver.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. But then it's almost like she's drawing her to him.
Yeah, I mean, judging by her facial expression, she looks a bit PO'd at this point. She looks a bit irritated.
But, chainsaw, big, massive, hulking guy with a chainsaw versus meat cleaver.
I mean, there's a few poor decisions in this movie.
Yeah, you wouldn't like your options. You would surely have just run as far as you could.
Yeah,
Right.
do you know what? I'll leave it.
yeah. I'm not going to hide in a locker and then bang on it and get him to come back after me.
And she gets a chop on him. Oh my God, she takes your arm.
Yeah, she does.
With
she
a meat cleaver?
So she bangs on the door, he comes back, opens the locker, and she literally hacks his arm off.
She's a strong girl.
With the meat cleaver. So, and I'm going to be a bit strange here, but I noticed she hacked off his right arm, which is the arm he holds the chainsaw in.
Yeah, that's a good
So
move.
it's kind of almost tactical, but I still think you'd have just legged it. I don't.
I mean, the fact that she took his arm off with a meat cleaver is
it's admirable.
Yeah,
I would say.
I mean, I don't know if I could do that.
No.
I mean, not out of bravery, happily.
But
again, strength-wise, I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah. Again, the scene is kind of gross, and that's what you want, though. So,
and I do like seeing Leatherface a bit vulnerable. Actually, he sort of slumps down on the floor after that.
Yeah, he does.
Just a bit
a bit of a sulk.
Yeah, a bit tired, a bit pain. I was like, you know what, I like.
Yeah.
There's a bit of, I know it's not that much depth, but I like the depth to him a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Even he's a bit fellow, isn't he? Like Mike Myers and stuff, he never stops.
Yeah.
With Leatherface, you can tell he's just a bit like, for God's sake.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I should have a rest here.
Bloody Jessica
my
Biel.
arms off. Yeah. Need to recoup for a minute, yeah.
She gets away a little bit, doesn't she? She goes off with another guy there.
Yeah, again, a bit similar to the original here, and it runs out, gets in the truck, but then realises the truck's going the wrong way.
Still got her vest tied up.
Yeah, she starts freaking out, doesn't she, and thinking that he's going to take her back to the family, so she jumps out the truck.
Oh, and then she sees them all together.
Yeah, she sees them all together.
That's when that baby's aged.
And then obviously she, twigs they're all family, doesn't she? And then what point does she realise... Was it now or was it earlier that she realised the baby... It's not their baby. They've stole the baby, haven't they?
Yeah. I don't know when they realised. It must be now, I think. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, she's lured them away and then she's gone and taken the baby.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so she's taken the baby. It's hot wiring...
Is it the truck? Or is it the sheriff's car?
I was going to say, I think she's hot wiring the sheriff's car. It's the sheriff's car, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
it
is.
Yeah,
this bit in a minute is brilliant, actually.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So she's hot-wired the sheriff's car. I think he's realised, hasn't he?
Oh, there you go.
And she runs him over. He's out there, he comes out and she literally just runs right through him. And you think, okay, good. But then that's not the end of it,
I do like this.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah, so do you want to explain what's
she does the standard double tap.
Yeah.
She's like, I've run him over.
Yeah.
That's not enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back over him. Does she go over him a third time?
She does. So she's, reversed over
she's definitely
him.
making sure.
And then this bit,
She's changed, man.
Yeah.
She used to be such a nice girl.
So, not only does she run him over, reverse over him, she then drives back over him to make triply sure, I suppose.
I mean, you'd think he's dead.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's dead at that point.
You'd like to hope.
So, yeah. And you think that's it. You think, there you go, she's escaped.
Yeah.
She's escaped. But we have one last final moment, don't we, really? So, so I think Leatherface just comes out of nowhere again, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He just comes out of nowhere. One-arm Leatherface does that he does that swing similar to the end of the original. But
he looks so cool, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So he does that one-arm chainsaw swing into the car.
Yeah.
Just bounces off the car, doesn't it? And she drives off.
Of course she's
safe.
Of course Jessica Biel survived.
Safe and sound.
He's a cool Leatherface. That is definitely, that movie does there. That is definitely a nod to the original.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. And it's obviously they've put their own little spin on it with the one arm. And then you see the shot of the baby.
The baby's like, what on earth?
Just sitting there looking at her. Yeah,
like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, like the baby's smiling away. So cool, but that one arm chainsaw swing at the end.
Such a good Leatherface.
Yeah.
And that pretty much wraps it up, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So I've always thought this is a pretty good remake.
It's a very good film.
But rewatching it's gone down a touch for me. I still like it.
I know I said I didn't enjoy it, and what I mean by that is I didn't enjoy it compared to the original.
Yeah.
Now, typically I don't really like that many old school originals.
Okay.
There's certain ones, like obviously not Horror but Total Recall and stuff like that, are just absolute gold.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But typically I do kind of like more modern stuff. But out of all of them, we'll touch on Leatherface because I have a very big passion for Leatherface, the movie.
Fair enough.
But this, in my opinion, was it definitely outshone the 2003 one.
Okay.
I just think it was a bit too Hollywood, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. They had a bigger budget, and with this, they just kind of went full on gore, didn't they?
Yeah,
I think it's like the opposite of the original.
Yeah.
So they stuck fairly close to the story, but they tried to add more in.
I suppose at the time with Jessica Biel, she wasn't the name she is now. So
I don't know really. I can't. Yeah.
I don't know. She became, in my eyes, mainly famous when she married old JT. But I suppose at the time maybe not. But looking back at it now, I think having such a huge star as the main made me dislike it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, straight away you knew she was going to be the final girl.
Yeah,
you know,
it was a bit predictable.
There was no one else in it who was a real star, was there? I don't think. I recognised the guy who played Kemper. But,
but
I think he's only been in a few, probably more horror films, to be honest.
Yeah. Good actors, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I liked the gore, to be honest.
Gore was good.
You know, when I originally saw it, I thought that's an amazing remake. You know,
it's
so
really
gory, so horrible, so disgusting.
But just that shot at the end there with Leatherface when he's annoyed that she's got away.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's so cool.
And they, like I say, they tried to add more story elements in. They made it clearer that it is a bit more of a bigger family and things. They had that connection to the hitchhiker. I think Morgan found the jar, didn't he, with the family photo in, which showed the hitchhiker was one of their relations as well.
She'd had enough.
So. Was she one of the? Yeah, she was one of the relations, wasn't she? Or one
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. But they tried to add more. They tried to give Leatherface a little bit more backstory. What with his part of his nose missing?
Yeah, he was more. I know he's serious. He's a murderer in all of them, but in this one you could tell he's more malicious. Yeah, I suppose. That's definitely the image he portrays.
Yeah, and I think the Leatherface in this one was one of the big plus points.
He was brilliant.
Yeah, I
loved him.
Again, massively. Yeah, huge stature, very imposing.
They slimmed him down a bit though, didn't they? Do
you think?
I think so. I think in the original he was more of like slob-like.
Okay. Yeah.
And this one he's a bit more. Yeah. Oh no, definitely a big dude. But this one he seems a bit more like elite. I don't know how to word it, but like he's good at this.
More muscle than fat.
Yeah.
Maybe this time around.
He lost an arm to a meat cleaver, but
he did. But he still carried on.
Yeah, still carried on.
After he'd had a little rest, somehow he got out into that road and knew where they were going to be. Man. But yeah, true. He knows the tunnels. Yeah. But no, I liked the character of Leatherface in this as a whole.
Yeah, really good. I love the sheriff. The sheriff was solid.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and that was I can't think of his name. It was
Sheriff Hoyt. Arlie Emmy or Ermy.
Yeah, that's it. He was the guy that I said a bit earlier, but in Full Metal Jacket, he was the army officer guy in that, and he's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Again, was a bit similar, big shouty mean guy in this, you know.
Yeah, it's very true. They really did pay homage. They do differ a lot, obviously, but you can see they've taken some of the best parts of the original and put them in this one. Yeah,
definitely. So I personally think it's an admirable remake.
It's decent. Yeah.
Not a patch on the original, but I don't think it was ever going to be for me. No. You know, like I said earlier, the original is an absolute classic. This one I'd probably say if the original was 5 out of 5, this for me is probably a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's a decent horror.
Yeah, it's well done. Had some. The camera work isn't as good, but like you said early on, it's quite good where they trace the bullet hole through the wound and the smoke coming out. You know,
I didn't see that coming because I thought it was going down the other route of the crazy dude cutting hands and stuff.
Yeah, I think the camera got a little bit erratic later on.
It's a bit more Hollywood action-y then, isn't it?
Definitely. It was alright, during the chase scene where they're running through the tunnels near the end, it was quite good and things.
Yeah, that was class. I like that.
So yeah.
I've got a few facts about this film as well.
Go on, hit me.
That I think are interesting. There's one point the sheriff calls Morgan Maggot.
Okay.
I thought it was a nice little nod there because of the maggots in the original.
Yeah, nice.
Again, this film was banned. It was banned in China and banned in Ukraine.
Banned? Wow.
Banned in Ukraine.
Okay. I mean, it is extremely gory, but yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I did like is the hitchhiker.
Yeah.
She actually auditioned for Erin's role.
Oh, she interesting.
Was obviously unsuccessful.
Yeah.
But they gave her a little role.
Oh, that's nice. I wanted to keep her in there.
Pull the gun out and blow her brains.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, that's going to be the scene that people remember.
Yeah, it's quite.
that is.
It is a weird one.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Leatherface, old Andrew Bryniarski.
I don't know who played him in this one.
That's it, Andrew Bryniarski. It's a hard name. He went on a diet of brisket and white bread, getting himself up to £300. So they're me saying he's a bit more lean.
Yeah,
which I think he was, but he was. Yeah, he had to eat a lot.
Leaner than Gunnar Hansen. Yeah,
I've touched on the gun down the throat thing.
Yeah, you have. That surprised me.
A funny fact though is the scene with the possum.
Yeah,
they had to retake it multiple times because the possum was too cute. Yeah, they couldn't get it to look scary. It just looked adorable.
Okay.
So screw my lawyers.
Yeah.
Jedediah was going to wear a Felix the Cat t-shirt, but the copyright holders wouldn't allow it.
Was there any particular reason he was going to wear that?
No reason. He just liked Felix the Cat.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Kemper. He's named after serial killer Edmund Kemper.
Oh, okay. I did think that's an odd name, Kemper. Yeah. I've never heard that before.
There's a reason behind it.
So
now, what could have been? Now, this is my favourite part.
Yeah, go on.
Of any chainsaw film.
Okay.
Who could have played Leatherface?
Wow, that's good point. Good question.
Well, this is who this person turned down the role.
Right.
It was Dolph Lundgren.
Wow.
Or Lundgren.
Can you imagine that? I'm not sure if. I don't know how that would have sat with me.
I mean, I want to see it.
Yeah.
But I want to see him Leatherface, even Drago as Leatherface. I want some sort of crossover.
That would be hilarious.
I would do anything. And then a few other bits: Katie Holmes, Kirsten Dunst, and Jessica Alba were all considered for the role of Erin.
Oh, okay. Interesting choices as well.
Yeah, the bit I mentioned about Erin being potentially pregnant, there is deleted scenes, apparently, including information of that.
Okay, I might go and have a look actually and delve into it a bit more because I'm a fan of the Chainsaw series. I know a lot of the other ones aren't great, but I don't know. There's just something about them. I enjoy them.
I love them.
I haven't seen them all.
That brings me on to my next point.
Yeah,
that I've been hinting at, like Leatherface, a 2017 movie.
Yeah.
I am in love with that film.
I know.
I watch it over and over. I think it's incredible. I think it's well filmed, well acted. There's certain things that obviously are a bit like, what on earth?
Yeah.
But it's the fact that the big twist. Just such a good twist.
I'm torn, to be honest. When I watched it, and I only saw it, I think, a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because it's out 6 years ago, but I think I only saw it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to because the critics had kicked the shit out of it and said it is truly terrible. It's not truly terrible. It's not a bad film at all. And like you say, it's fairly well acted. It's got buckets and tons of gore.
Oh, it's horrendous.
You know, even more than this. Yeah, there's some truly horrific stuff. The bit where they drop
the engine on that girl's face.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I think I saw somewhere that it's made by two people who used to make like extreme French horror movies.
That explains some bits.
So that would definitely explain some bits. Yeah. You've got good. Stephen Dorff in there as the sheriff, like you say, who's going out of his mind trying to find his family.
He's just horrible, but it's brilliant.
Yeah, that's it. I agree.
There's certain bits like when they're getting frisky at the back of that abandoned trailer.
Yeah.
Her body's all burnt up. And she then starts kissing a really old dead body that they find. And I was like, this is so messed up.
Yeah. So that's
I'm here for it.
That's where the French extremities come in, isn't it? You know, because they'd be doing stuff like that.
As we said, the twist is so good. You know, there's this very large character that doesn't speak.
Yeah, you obviously.
It's a bit simple.
I mean, you might want to just say a quick spoiler warning.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely going to ruin Leatherface for you right now. But yeah, there's actually no, I don't need to. All I can say is that it doesn't end how you think it does.
Yeah,
and I think it's brilliant.
The gore is top notch. The twist for me.
That's a good twist.
I don't know. I don't quite feel it, but I can't say too much without going into spoiler.
It was where the guy got shot in the face, and
that was brilliant. Like I say, I'm all for all the gore. You know, all the gore.
I like. Do you know what? I don't just like the twist because it points one way and takes you another. I like it the way those last few moments of it where she straps his face in because he's had it all like blown apart. Yeah, see, I'd forgotten about that bit, and that's so I think I need to rewatch. But that made me cringe. So when he pulled and he makes this like noise, I'm like, that must be so bad. I'm going to rewatch it soon. I didn't get time this time around. I like the idea of this guy just breaking beyond repair, and then he eventually, as we see, develops into Leatherface. I just really appreciate it. I mean, they could have done another one. I mean, obviously it done really badly, didn't it? But I mean, I would presume if they did another one, it would have been a sequel to Leatherface. Yeah. Because then it would have filled in those years. I think that's why I like Leatherface between this one and the 74. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's why I like it though. When people dump on something, I'm like, no, hang on a minute, there's a lot of good in it. I think there's a lot of good in it. There's some bad bits as well. It's one of my favourites.
That's fair enough. Yeah, nowhere near as bad as I was expecting.
No.
So I can't go as far as to say it's my favourite, like you.
No, that's fair.
but I can see why you get a lot out of it. Yeah.
But I won't take too much time on this, but there's a couple of things worth noting about this film as well.
Go on, yeah.
Is they rebuilt the original 1974 house for...
Oh, really?
For Leatherface.
Okay,
yeah.
That's good.
I think that was a nice nod.
Yeah.
It was Toby Hooper's final film as a producer before he died.
I didn't know he produced it.
Yeah, well, he was a producer.
Yeah.
So he's a bit sad.
Yeah,
and then the only other really thing that's worth noting is that it wasn't shot in Texas. It was shot in Bulgaria because they didn't have enough money.
I was going to say, I think wasn't there some issue with the rights?
Yeah, and then also on that as well. Yeah, it wasn't going to be called Leatherface. It was going to be called Texas Chainsaw. I don't know, St. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but yeah, they took too long, and they ran out of the rights, so they had to call it Leatherface.
Yeah, but fair enough.
That's again what I like so much about it as well. It's because if they called it Chainsaw Massacre, and then you watch Leatherface, you'd be like, hang on, that's not Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah,
because it did have a slightly different feel to it, didn't it? Because obviously you're not seeing the fully fledged Leatherface, and so it's not. As chainsaw-y. Yeah, no.
There's not much. I mean, the scene where he kills the sheriff is pretty good.
But yeah. So,
and then just very finally, but I think we can't talk about Chainsaw Massacre without talking about the latest edition, 2022.
We can touch on that briefly if you want to.
Just quickly.
Very briefly.
I don't think
it'll take long.
It has some cool moments. The chainsaw mask is amazing.
Yeah, I do like when I put it on and I saw the look of Leatherface, I was like, oh yeah, that actually looks different.
Yeah.
But it's Leatherface still. Yeah. And it was quite scary. He's got a very sad looking demeanour on this mask.
It's gone like he's almost gone like Slipknotty, the way Corey Taylor's changed some of his masks to look that way.
Yeah, it's like the mouth droops down a bit, doesn't it? And the eyes droop down a bit more. And
it's quite a poor fitting mask, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's what adds to the effect.
Yeah. No,
but as a whole, it's quite forgettable. But it has some good scenes.
I think the problem for me is I literally hated every single character that you're supposed to root for, and I found myself rooting for Leatherface.
Yeah, no, I absolutely
with you. Which in that kind of thing,
it doesn't
you're not supposed to, are you? You go rooting for the cannibal killer.
The bus scene, especially, I'm like,
yeah. No, that was hilarious. The bus
scene. Let's go, Leatherface.
Yeah, the bus scene is a highlight. And again, I kind of want to talk about the ending, but it would be spoilerific. So there is a bit I'm going to mention. So if you haven't seen the remake, no, not the remake, the 2022 Chainsaw Massacre that is on Netflix. Stop listening now for a few minutes, okay? The ending where I swear, from what I recall, he gets chainsawed in the face, but then he comes back.
Yeah. Well, he's Leatherface.
No, I know, but come on, like it's like...
Well, it's like getting your arm cleavered off, isn't it?
But an arm or something, silly. Fair enough. But to get your face chainsawed through...
It's different.
And then he comes back at the end.
I think good on him. I mean, we're a fan of him. We want him to win.
I just thought, what the...
Yeah, no, it's silly.
What the shit.
Yeah. They went a bit weird with it, but I suppose almost they were kind of... how crazy the world is and certain things that are going on, stuff like that. They almost... brought that in and let you indulge.
No, I know.
Some activities.
But then finish him off in some other way.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So it's not so fatal.
Yeah,
but
I know what you mean.
And I just can't get over the fact of how much I hated all the survivors, so to speak. Not survivors, but I don't know what the group of youngsters.
I do like the town they filmed it in. It's called Harlow, and that's my daughter's name. And
that's cool.
I'd love to say that I named her after Chainsaw Massacre, but she was born before the film came out.
Not after that Chainsaw Massacre, mate.
Very true. Well, I did make sure her initials actually spell out Triple H.
Did you?
I had that discussion with my wife, and I said, "Look, we're calling her Triple H."
Yeah, brilliant.
And I got away. I don't know how I got away with it.
Great wrestler.
But yeah.
One of my faves, to be fair.
Right, so I think that wraps it up.
I think that does wrap it up. Guys, we've kept this one a bit more casual and a bit more chilled.
We've taken our time again.
So we have, but I hope you've enjoyed it, and thanks again for listening. If you have any suggestions, like if you want us to be more in-depth or more up on our facts and stuff, then let us know. We can do that. It'll take a bit more planning, won't it?
I mean, I'm no good. I'd just like to watch horror and chat.
But nonsense. But I mean, we're trying to keep this nice chill vibe released, so hopefully...
I hope you enjoyed it
as well.
If you don't, then shame. No, let us know. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you for interaction online.
Yeah.
Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for supporting. Just a quick plug on it, I guess. We're on many platforms now. Ben's done a hell of a lot of work on getting this podcast elsewhere. We're on places like Apple, Amazon, Pocket Cast. Was it Stitcher? Did you say?
Stitcher as well. Yeah, so the podcast is more widely available now.
So if you're not Spotify,
I'll be posting the links up and stuff on the Facebook group and everything anyways. So.
Yeah, so we're on Insta, we're on Facebook, TikTok, we've got a Twitch channel, and don't feel obliged to, but we do have a Patreon if you want to join in. Hop on there and have a look, and then we'll start building that together as well.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to be looking at starting a YouTube channel at some point as well, guys. So you will have to put up with our ugly mugs, unfortunately.
Well, that's a question for everyone. Do you want us in masks or without? Because I want masks.
Well, mate, I know you really want masks, but why do you want masks?
I don't know. It's cool, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, guys, let us know. We're just going to ramble on otherwise. But yeah. We're going to be on other platforms and stuff soon. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, we're going to keep growing as much as we can. Just let us know. Keep in touch.
That's it.
We'll build this together.
Yeah. Also, I just want to quickly touch on episode 5 as well. So again, we've been asking for your guys' participation, and thanks so much so far for the films you've suggested.
I'm excited for this.
We're going to do something. We had a bit of a week where we didn't really know what to do before. We're going to dive into the Insidious series. Before the 5th one comes out. We kind of just thought we'll let you guys pick a film. So,
and the responses have been amazing.
Yeah, they really have. They're so varied. It's going to be hilarious.
Things I haven't even heard of.
Same. But so we're going to do something called Wheel of Misfortune, which Grant come up with a name of, which I think is great.
Just a clever chap.
So we're going to add all your films into a website called Wheel of Names. We're going to spin the wheel, and whichever film wins, we're going to chat a load of shit about.
I think we're going to watch it together, aren't we?
We're going to watch it together.
And then and then we'll do the pod straight after, because then it's fresh.
That's a good plan. Yeah, I like it. See, we just kind of put this together as and when, didn't we?
Yeah, much like a Leatherface.
Yeah, there you go. So, once again, thank you very much for listening. We will catch you soon.
See you later.